Okay, so as I mentioned, SG Psych Stuff has been around for the last 6 years, and for the last 11 years, and our mentoring program would be having our 6th run in 2023. Okay, so what are we trying to help students with? Okay, these are the 3 main things that we always tell students, that these are things that you need to do to build your own future, to build your own career, right? Number 1, to learn about anything in the industry, to learn about, to learn the skills, the knowledge that you need to have, to learn, the things that you need to do, right? Build the things that you need to have to ensure that you are able to have that, to smoothen that journey in psychology. Number 2, to try to get as much experience as possible. Yes, you might get it from internships, you might get it from volunteering, okay? But the question is, how are we going to enhance that further by allowing you to walk the footsteps of the professionals out there, okay? The third thing that we always emphasize for students to do is to network, okay? And networking is something that is often neglected by students. Students don't do a lot of networking. You will probably network with your friends, with those in your course, but not outside. So we also, and probably with the professionals as well. So we hope to build that platform as well to help you network with the professionals, to allow you to know as many professionals and other people from the same course, from different schools as much as possible. Ultimately, it is to build that future, right? It's to build your better future in psychology for you. This is our tagline from 11 years ago. And, but as I mentioned, we are actually expanding the mentorship program as well for counseling and social work students as well. So do follow us on our website. This is our website here that you can go to, and everything that we have will be on our website. If do follow us on the social media as well. And for this program, if you really want to sign up for the program, just go to the link. I think one of our friends, Sheila, has put up the registration link in the in the chat as well, so you can connect from there straight away. So if you have any questions in this short sharing that I have, feel free to put it in the chat, or if you don't feel comfortable, you can actually private message me as well. Okay, and I'll make sure I'll answer your question. Because today we're trying to focus more of a Q&A to answer as much questions as you have, or I'll get Jerry to answer the questions as well that you may have about the mentoring program. So what is the program for? Ultimately, the goals is to help our mentees in their personal growth, to help them build that foundation in this sector, the social sciences sector, through the mentorship program. And as they progress further, as they graduate from our program, it will kickstart your thinking process, and you will actually learn to develop yourself further after this program as well. So what do you get? What can you look forward to in the program, right? Number 1, as I mentioned, definitely the networking opportunities. Okay, that is definite, right? Because the mentors the mentors might take a couple of students, so there was definitely the networking opportunities that you have with your mentor, with your fellow mentees, with the mentor as well, and other mentees that you might see within our program. Just a little bit of a sharing. This year for 2022, we took in about around 120, 130 mentees, right? With 20-something mentors. And so we are continuing that number as well. So we do hope to help as much students as possible. Okay, you will definitely have in-depth learning and conversations with your mentor. Part of the program, in that 1 year, from January 2023 to December 2023, you need to have that 4 sessions with your mentor. Okay, these 4 sessions to have that conversations with your mentor. Okay, you will also get sharing of events. Your mentors will share with you events because within our mentors network, we will share what's happening in Singapore, and then this gets sent to you either from a mentor or from the senior mentee, right? So you'll know about events as well as the Telegram group, right? The Telegram group that we have for the mentees. So you'll get all this information about events as well as access to member-only events that is done by SG Psych Stuff. Okay, later I'll show you what are the member-only events that we did last year. Okay, rather this year. Okay, and for these events, a benefit that we have or rather something that's very special, right, is that you can bring one friend along. Because in the past, when we did this program from 2018, we noticed that students who come, they might be very shy. So we said that it's okay, you can bring one friend along so that there's someone that you can talk to as well. So it benefits your friend, if your close friend or your friends in psychology that, if you're a mentee, okay, there may be opportunities. This is not a guarantee, but there may be opportunities for volunteering and research work. This might be with the mentors, or this might be outside that we hear of, and we will actually share these opportunities to everybody as well. If there are any projects in SG Psych Stuff, you are welcome to help us and participate as well. That is definitely okay, because once you're a mentee, you become into our big family of this mentoring program. So this is one example that just happened quite recently, 24th September. That was last Saturday. That was supported by one of our mentors with his mentees. I'm not too sure if anybody attended this webinar. So this is one example of the webinars that the mentor got the mentees to think about, do their research, and present. Right. So this is one of the opportunities that the mentees can actually learn and develop their own skills as well. Okay. So just to share a little bit of what happened this year. Okay. So I mentioned the first thing, you will have your 4 sessions with your mentees. You'll have your 4 sessions with your mentors. Okay. So these are compulsory. We definitely advise you to attend. Okay. And this is part of it that it's compulsory. The other things are not compulsory. So this is the other things that are happening, the events that I mentioned earlier. So for example, in January, we usually have a welcome talk and a mentor circle where all the mentors get together, all the mentees get together, all 100 plus of you get together. And this 2020, because of COVID, right, we did it on Zoom. We are not sure for next year, but this is what we did this year, right, on Zoom, and all 100 plus people come together for just a chit chat and answer questions and things like that, a network as well. Then in February, I did a sharing about what is the right mindset to have when you want to build your career. So for everybody who registers, who sign up for this mentoring program, everybody is welcome to this sharing. Okay, everybody's welcome for this sharing for next year. The team has actually asked me to repeat this again because they find that this is very useful for everybody, regardless or not if you are accepted as a mentee. So as long as you sign up, you will get access to this sharing. Okay, and then we've got sharings about different kind of therapies, about childhood adverse and how they affect how they affect the clients, about developmental psychology, educational psychologies, sports psychology, as well as counseling psychology. Okay, and about research as well, about clinical psych, and that's happening, I think, end of next month, or end of next month in October. And November, we have a psychologist from Australia who will be talking about if students are planning to further their studies and register as a psychologist in Australia, what's the process like? How is it like? And then in December again, where everybody comes back together, to network, to have that closing talk, and so for this year, we are already planning for it. The mentoring team is already planning for it to be face-to-face for 2022. So for 2022. So we'll see what happens for 2023, but this is the program for 2022. So how many mentors do we have currently? For this upcoming year, 2023, we have already engaged, or 24 mentors have already actually agreed to help us. Okay, so they are across all these different specializations: clinical psych, ed psych, forensic psych, sports psych, counseling psych, research as well. And additionally, for this year, we have added counseling and social work. Okay, this is something different, okay, that we have added. I think last year we also had 1 or 2 counselors, but this year we added much more counselors as well as social worker mentors, who for students who may be interested in these sectors as well. So this is all the mentors, that the different kinds of specializations that you will see for the profiles that the mentors have. Okay, and so you will choose one of these mentors. What else was it? Yeah, so with this, mentors would actually the process I'll share in the next slide. So this is what actually happens. So today is actually the 30th, the 30th of September. So our recruitment is going to close in 2 weeks. Okay, exactly 2 weeks, 16 October. And what happens is that every time you choose a mentor, okay, each mentor actually has a certain quota. Okay, so when the quota is actually met, the mentor's name will be removed from the system. Okay, so the later you apply, you'll probably see lesser mentors. Okay, so we definitely urge students to register and sign up as early as possible so you can see a larger range of mentors that you can choose from. Okay, so that recruitment will actually end on 16th of October. There is no extension. This is the date, right? And then by the end of October, the mentors would actually shortlist the mentees, okay? And the interviews will be done in November by the mentors themselves and the senior mentees, okay? What are senior mentees? Senior mentees are mentees that have gone through at least one cycle of this mentoring program. Okay, so if you are a mentee, if you become a mentee, the good thing is that after you finish the program, you can become a senior mentee and you can choose a different mentor, or you might want to follow your same mentor as well. So like I mentioned, senior mentee for next year, it's already our third time that we are doing it. And we find that this is a very, very good system because the senior mentee will be someone your age, right? Or someone slightly older than you who have gone through that same journey in uni and probably graduating or just graduated. And so they can probably advise you better in terms of school things, in terms of the mindset, in terms of what you need to do, you know. And because they have gone through the system of the mentoring, they are better able to support the mentors and able to support the mentees as well. So this is a very special feature that I think no other mentoring program has, and rather in Singapore, not that we know of, but in Singapore, probably only we have it, right? And just a note as well, this mentoring program is also the only mentoring program in Singapore that is focused on social sciences only, right? So it's only focused on psychology, counseling, and social work. So sorry for the moving away from the topic. So coming back to this date, to this timeline, the interviews will be happening in November, and the results will be released end November, early December. Okay, and so in December, the mentoring team will be settling with the administration for administrative forms that you may have to fill up once you are confirmed to be a mentee. Okay, and then the cycle will begin in 2023 again. So you have the talks, and your mentor will meet you in January 2023 to tell you, what are the dates of meeting, and you can arrange these sessions with your mentors. So again, this is the registration link and our websites that we have. So I would definitely urge everybody to register as early as possible. Okay. So before I answer any questions, I haven't gone to the chat. If you have any questions, please put your questions in the chat, or you can DM me on the chat as well, and I will come to your questions. But here are some default questions that people do ask from previous sessions, right? Previous years and previous sessions. So the first question is that I would like to know the specific commitment level of this mentorship program. What is required from the mentee? So like I mentioned earlier, the only compulsory thing is the 4 sessions with the mentor. Everything else is optional. Okay, everything else, including the monthly workshops, including all the resources, including all the volunteering and internship opportunities that we are sharing with you. All these are optional. Only the 4 sessions are required, and these sessions are to be discussed with your mentor. When you're going to meet, is it during working hours, after working hours, weekday, weekend? This you have to discuss with the mentor. Okay. Will I be able to choose my mentor specializations? How will they be assigned? Can you choose the mentor or the field that the mentor is in? So for example, if you are interested in clinical psych, can you choose someone, or rather to be a mentee to someone in the clinical psych field? Yes, answer is yes. Okay, so when you go into the sign up form, what you'll see is that you will be asked to fill in about yourself, okay, and why you want to join this mentoring program. Okay, these are the fields that the mentors see. the mentors will not be seeing your name, your school and things like that. The mentor will be seeing, about yourself, writing about your own profile, and writing about why you want to join the program. And you, after that, you will choose also the profile of the mentor. Okay. We do not show you the names of the mentor, but we will tell you about the profiles of the mentor, including things like their specializations, years of experience, what are things that the mentors might be interested in to discuss about, how they can help you, why they're helping you as well. Okay, so you can see the mentor's profile, and you can choose the mentor that you might be interested in. Okay, the third one, how can I explain different psychological branches to pursue? So if you are someone who is still exploring, we would definitely encourage you to attend the different workshops that we are offering throughout the months, and this will help you explore the different branches as well as network with the different mentors as well. Okay, so maybe I want to ask Jerry. Jerry, are you here?
Yeah, can you hear me?
So something related to the second question.
Okay.
Maybe you want to share a little bit about
choosing mentor specialization.
Yeah. Like through your discussions with your mentees, right? Did they tell you how do they choose you?
So from what I know is that I'm not being identified. The mentor is not identified, so they won't know the name, but they will know the specialization and a little background of the mentor. So certain information can be quite obvious, especially if you are quite known for in a certain field, or you're very well known in a certain field. Sometimes the profile kind of gives you away lah. But in most cases, you probably wouldn't know who your mentor is until you meet your mentor. So your selection is based on the topic, your field of interest. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that is also a reason why we don't want to tell you is because some of our mentors are very high level people in the field. So they might be like head of departments or chiefs of psychology or things like that in their own departments. And we don't want people to think that, if I go with this mentor, I can get internship opportunities, and I can get into his department and things like that. We rather you choose a mentor because of that. What can I learn from this mentor as well, right? Am I able to build that chemistry and learn from this mentor? Okay, so that's why we don't put down their names lah. Okay, for everybody to see in the application form. Oh, I'm sorry. So the next thing, the next set of questions that I have, if anyone have any questions, please send them in. So as I go through this, I'll come to these questions. Okay. So what are some things that mentor look out for during the interview process? What's the selection process? Will there be a interview selection process? I'll answer the third one first lah. Will there be an interview selection process? Yes, there's an interview process. A mentor would probably interview about 8 to 10 students from that list that they shortlisted. But Jerry, what are some things that you think mentors look out for?
I can't speak for other mentors, but for myself, normally I will interview like 8 people, and then sometimes more, but I'll shortlist to around 2 lah. I hardly will have more than 2 for myself. So one of the things I look out for is I will find out more about the interviewee, and I think the key thing is I want to see goodness of fit in terms of the matching between myself and the mentee. And one of the biggest questions in my mind is how I can help. How can I best help this particular person? So I will normally select the ones that I can help the best and the most. So basically, right, the key thing is that the selection has nothing to do with your grades, has nothing to do with how well you do in your studies in the psych field or whatever, if you are doing your psych degree or anything. So it's all about how much I can help you. So there are times where I have really good, straight A students, in the interview, but unfortunately they don't get selected, not because they're not good enough, but it's because they are already so good that they probably don't need my support as much as someone who needs it more lah, as in like people who don't do too well in that area of focus. So it's all about goodness of fit as well as how much I can give to that person, how much I can help that person at that. So that's for me at least. I can't say the same for other mentors. Yeah.
I think for me it is very similar. As Jerry mentioned, I will be asking myself this question lah: how can I help you? If you're my mentee, and am I able to help you? If I'm able to help you to explore, to understand more about yourself, and these are things that I can do to help you, in this 1 year period, probably I'll choose you as a mentee. So very similarly, like I mentioned, I would probably interview 8 to 10. I have taken as little as 2 mentees up to as many as 4 mentees. And my 4 mentees happened to be during, I think that was like the last year's cohort, 2021 cohort. I took 4 mentees, which is unheard for. When my senior mentee came and asked me, hey, why you take 4? Like, okay, then we'll see how you go with that. But because we find that the fit between the 4 was really good, and actually between the pairs of them, there was very good chemistry. So we had to take the 4. So it really happened. It really depends on what happens in the interview, and how I know I can help you. So the more you share about what you would like to learn about in the program, as well as telling us about you, I think that will really help in terms of allowing us to see whether that help can be provided to you as you come in to be our mentee. Okay, so the next one, is it all right if I'm abroad? I would like to join a mentoring program, but planning to go overseas exchange in the later half of 2022. Will I still be eligible? So I used to have a mentee who went for an exchange for 2-3 months. So she told me during the interview that she was already planning to go. And to me, that is still okay, because it's only like a very short exchange in that 1 year. But if you may be going for a longer exchange, or if you're planning to go for any exchange, it might be best to tell the mentor during the interview, so they are aware of that, and they will see whether does that affect their choice, or how can they plan better for it if they take you in as a mentor. Okay, it's not nice to have surprises, so probably good to tell them during the interview if you're being chosen. Okay, will this mentorship program help you get some exposure to internships? Have you heard of any internships, Jerry, that people get through the mentoring program?
I think connect through the connections with some of our people, some of the speakers. It's true that but not really like because of we have interns right in SG Psych Stuff, but that person wasn't through our intern.
Yeah,
wasn't through the mentorship program.
So the mentorship program will not get you an internship with us.
Yeah.
It may not get you an internship with your mentor, because that would mean that there is a dual relationship, which is a no-no in our sector. But we may tell you about, there is internships vacancies in these places that you can go and apply for. So this answer is a yes and a no, because it really depends on what happens and who might be open and whether we hear of it, and it gets sent to you. Okay, so I think that's the main bit about this internships and volunteering as well. This connects to volunteering as well. The same thing applies. So what happens after I graduate from this mentoring program? So just to say again, the mentoring program is a 1-year program that goes from January 2023 to December 2023. All right. And so what happens after you finish this mentoring program? Firstly, you will be put into what we call the mentees alumni. Okay, you will be moved to an alumni group where you continue to get resources from that we send to all the mentees. You will continue to get the resources. You will continue to be able to come for the workshops that we do. Okay, so that can be continued. The only thing that you don't get as an alumni is the mentor. Okay, that means the one-to-one discussion with the mentor. That's the only thing that you do not get as an alumni. Okay, but however, if you choose to come back to be a senior mentee, to help the mentor, that is something that you can get that conversations to ask to learn more from a mentor, these things, if you choose to become a senior mentee. So there is two options. One, you just stay as an alumni. Two, you can come back as a senior mentee, but we also definitely encourage people to volunteer with us. Okay, a lot of our committee members are actually ex-mentees that they see that we really need to help other students as well, and this work is very valuable to build psychology in Singapore. So some of them actually do come back to volunteer with us in our different teams, such as the mentoring team. Like our mentoring team is actually now headed by one of our ex-mentees, right? And there's actually mentees within the mentoring team as well. So so the teams, they build themselves. So yeah, but it's really up to you if you wish to volunteer with us. Okay. So yes, it's a time for any open Q&A for anybody if you want. I haven't seen any questions there's one question coming up. Yep. So there's one question asking, since each mentor can take a couple of mentees each time, will the mentees under the same mentor meet each other? So the first thing is, this one really depends with your mentor. Do they prefer to talk to you one-to-one, or do they prefer to talk to you as a group? Okay, that as a group, like I meet all my mentees. So for me, I meet my mentees as a group. Because number one, it saves time for everybody. Number two, there is this group thing that can go on. That means everybody can discuss their issues and everybody can think of solutions together with my senior mentee. Okay. Unless COVID restrictions apply, like previously we only had there was a situation where we could only meet 5 in a group, right? So I needed to split my mentees up. Because I always bring along my senior mentee, so I could only meet 2 mentees at a time, so I had to meet them multiple times. Yeah, because that was because of COVID, right? But Jerry, do you meet them one-to-one or separate?
So for me, we have a WhatsApp group where everyone has my contact number, and then but the actual meetup is always in a group. When we meet in a group, we probably, at least my preference is to have dinner together, then we discuss together, and then if they do want to contact me individually, they have my number from the WhatsApp group, so they can just send me a text message and ask their questions. So I will just clarify whatever their queries are. So basically, the meetings are face to face. They are in a group setting, and yes, probably over dinner. Yeah, most of the time. That's how I do it. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Jerry. Yeah. So then, following up with that question, do we get to do a project together, right, with a mentor? I think this one really depends on your mentor, whether you get to do a group project, whether is that a very taxing thing. That really depends on you and your mentor to be discussed. What is the project or the contribution? If you go into registration, you will see the list of things that we do suggest, like events and things like that. So if your mentor actually asks you to come along for an event, this might be something that your mentor asks the group of mentees to come together to go for the event, to learn together and things like that. So it really depends on what the mentor's arrangement with the mentees. Not everybody may do the project, right? But some of you may do a project, or some of you might be helping for certain things and might be doing for these certain things. So Hannah asked a question, what if I'm still uncertain on which specialization I want to go to? It's okay, because I think we have a couple of mentors who have that specialization in terms of career development and career exploration. So it might be written somewhere there, or mentors who might be who have exposure and they know about the psychology industry a lot. So this might be mentors that you select, rather than specific mentors that do only specific things. Okay, so there are mentors that are like that. You can ask them in terms of a broader picture, in terms of work, in terms of how to pursue their things in terms of psychology. Okay, let me just. Yeah, I hope that's okay, Hannah. Yeah. what would volunteering entail? Rishi, can I ask? Are you referring to volunteering with SG Psych staff, or are you referring to volunteering outside? Just to clarify on that. Yeah, okay, with SG Psych staff. So if you look at SG Psych staff, we do different things. There might be the media team, there might be our what's that called, our editorial team that do blog and writes about things. There might be about the mentoring team, there might be the career advisory team. So whenever we do our volunteer runs, we actually publish and say, hey, we're looking for volunteers. These are the time that you can actually sign up to be a volunteer, and then the chair or the director of the team will actually come and contact you and to tell you about what are the things that they need you to do. So usually they will put down when they are doing the voluntary run, right? The volunteer recruitment run. They will put down what they need the volunteer to do. So it depends on at that moment of time who is needed and what is needed lah. So there's a question. Since each mentor only takes in a few mentees, does it mean that not everybody who takes part in the program gets matched to a mentor? Unfortunately, yes, that is the truth. Okay. I can tell you that because we do advise mentors to take about 3 to 4 mentees for every run. Okay. Because if you have too many mentees, like if you have like 12 or 10 mentees, you might not be able to help each and every individual, right? So we do recommend about 3 to 4 mentees per mentor. So so some mentors do take, but it's really, really up to the mentors. We have mentors that take up to 10. So although that's why when we have 20-something mentors, we are still able to push to about 120, 130 mentees for this 2022 run. So I guess it will be similar for 2023. So what happens is that another thing to note is that in the application form, there is actually a button there, right? That means if you don't get chosen for your first choice, do you want to opt in to be reselected for second round? So the mentors will come and choose and see who might be suitable for those who get rejected from the first round. Yeah. So there may be this second round of selection that goes for this lah. Yeah. So there is a few reasons why we cannot take many people. Okay. But also we try to help as much people as possible lah. Okay. I can tell you, currently we have not hit our maximum lah. For Yenny who's asking the question, currently we have not hit our maximum. Currently, we have about 100 applicants, and 100 applicants have chosen different mentors. There are some who have not been filled up, so there's still a lot of opportunities to submit at the current moment. Okay. So can you apply while you are still schooling? Yes, correct. So the criteria is very straightforward. Okay. As long as you are a student in January 2023, we do not worry if you are a full-time student, you are a part-time student, it's fine. As long as you are a student in January 2023, doing psychology, counseling, or social work, we want to help you. Okay. So yeah. So yes, definitely, this is a program for you to apply when you're still schooling, not when you graduate. There may be mentors who like to choose graduating students, but it's really up to the mentors. Okay, there may be mentors that like to choose year 1, year 2 students. Also up to the mentors. Okay, so the selection criteria, how they cut is up to respective mentors lah. Right. So just informing on that bit first. But yeah, good question, Joshua. Any other questions? So if you go in now, I think at the current moment, if you go into the registration now, let me just copy and paste the registration again. If you go into the registration now, I think you still can see about 20 mentors, if I'm not wrong. This is what I last checked with the director of mentoring team yesterday. Currently, there's still about 20 mentors that you can choose from. So there's still many mentors that you can choose. Yeah, they haven't hit their quota yet, right? So but also because we want to increase people's chances of being chosen. That's why we don't want to make the quota very big. We make it a very small quota that the mentors have to really choose the mentees. Yeah. So yeah, you can still apply, definitely. So the link I've shared in the chat as well. And these are the dates again. Okay, these are the dates again that you have to take note. Anybody have any other further questions? There is actually if you go into the website, there's actually a FAQ as well. Yeah, there's a FAQ that you can read, and actually these are questions that we collated from our our 5 runs, our last 5 runs of this mentoring program. So this 6th run, so like I mentioned again, we are the only mentoring program that specializes for this social sciences sector, for psychology, counseling, and social work. And we have different things and a lot of refinements done across the years. So usually things go quite smoothly. It's just that they need time to execute, and and we hope that every mentee is well taken care of. Yeah. I'm just checking if I missed any questions. Are there any further questions that anyone want to ask? If not, that is actually all I have. This is actually my last slide to ask everybody, or to show everybody about the timeline, and to make sure that you register. Okay, and you can actually follow us on our social media as well. The handle is all the same. SG Psych Stuff. It's the same handle for all our social media. Unfortunately, we don't have TikTok yet. Yeah, so these are the social media that you can follow us in our website as well. And yeah, so I hope that everybody gets selected here as a mentee, and everybody learned something through the program as well. I will still stay around for a couple while. If anyone have any questions, but if you don't have any questions, then that is all I have. So when will we be posting this recording? I will try to post it over this weekend. Once we're done with this. Yeah, Jerry, any last things you want to share?
I guess what I want to say is that for those of you who are unsure about especially when you're concerned about being selected and all that, just give it a try. You never know. And for all you know, some of these mentors are able to meet your needs and help you out. So don't hesitate. Do go ahead to apply. Just go to the link and make your application. Yeah.
So for the recording for this video, it will be put on YouTube. For the link for the recording, it's the same link that for this mentoring registration. Just go to the registration link. The videos will all be there, including the video from the previous our previous sharing as well. Okay, so you just have to go to the link for the registration, and the recording should be there. Should be there after this weekend. Yeah. Thank you everyone for coming. I'll just pause. I'll just stop this sharing.